Welcome back to the Safety Map podcast. Today we're talking about something that's probably going to hit a little hard for some of us, but also something that will set you free from a lot of misconceptions. So let's get into it. Have you ever walked away from a conversation or an interaction where someone agreed with you? Things seemed to be going pretty well. You expressed a thought and the other person was like, yes, I totally am on board with that. But you walked away feeling like something was still a little off. Like, on paper, everything was right. They validated you, they agreed with you, they said they understood you, but your body didn't settle. It was kind of like your body didn't really believe them. Or maybe you've had the opposite experience where you had a conversation with someone who didn't agree with you, who challenged you, and the conversation was a little bit of a conflict. But somehow your body still felt okay. You still felt settled. That's what we're going to talk about today, because agreement doesn't equal safety. Just because someone agrees with you does not mean you are safe with them. And just because someone disagrees with you does not mean that you are unsafe with them. But most of us have learned, either directly or indirectly, that agreement equals safety. We've been taught that if we're in a relationship or a situation or room where everyone kind of feels the same or everyone has the same perspective, that means we're safe. Or that if you disagree with me, something is wrong in our relationship. And that actually makes a lot of sense when you look at it through a safety lens. Because for many of us, when we've been in situations where someone disagreed with us, we were unsafe. And therefore, our system begins to associate disagreement means we're not safe. Disagreement in the past may have meant rejection or abandonment or punishment. And so your system has learned agreement keeps me safe. Disagreement is unsafe. And therefore, it starts organizing around that, right? If agreement keeps me safe, then I must pursue agreement as a way of pursuing safety. And this is where we start to get in some patterns, like over-explaining and over-apologizing and keeping our mouth shut even when we would like to speak up about something, because our system has learned to prioritize agreement over expression. Your system is not actually tracking agreement. Your system is tracking whether safety can remain even when agreement is not present. These are two very different things, because someone can agree with you and you're still not safe. They can agree with you and be dismissive. They can agree with you and ignore your feelings. They can agree with you and still take action that harms you. They can agree with you to avoid real conflict, but there's no connection present. Your body picks up on that. It's still scanning for, am I safe here? Remember our definition of safety. Safety is no meaningful threat exists to my aliveness, identity, or connection, and this is the part we're talking about here, and I am free to express myself without rejection or disconnection. So in a situation where you are agreeing or disagreeing, your body is not scanning for, does this person agree with me? Your body is scanning for, is it safe to express myself fully here? Am I able to express myself fully without rejection or disconnection? Hey, Alyssa here. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Safety Map podcast. If you are enjoying this content, if you're learning something here, or even just identifying with what we've been talking about, please take a moment to subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're currently listening in on. This really helps other people find the content, and it makes sure that you don't miss a single upcoming episode. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. One of the things I hear a lot in coaching is, I just need my partner to understand me so I feel safe. Or I just need to find a therapist who understands where I'm coming from so that I can feel safe in their office. I get why that feels true. Because when someone understands you, it feels like relief. It can feel like settling. It can feel like you can breathe, like you no longer have to continue to defend yourself, like your body can relax a little bit around that other person, and that can feel like safety. But someone can understand you and still be dismissive. Someone can understand you and still invalidate your experience. On the other hand, someone can disagree with you and still hold space for you. Someone can disagree with you and still be respectful. Someone can disagree with you and still be steady and present and safe. They might say something like, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I disagree with you, but I'm still here. I'm still present. I'm not going anywhere. And your body can feel that. Your body can experience safety even when someone disagrees with you. So the real thing is not, I need them to understand me so I can be safe. The real thing is, I need their response to be safe, whether they understand me or not. So what does it look like when someone disagrees with you and stays safe? Let's break this down a little bit because many of us do not have a lot of experience with this. When someone disagrees with you and is still completely safe, they might say something like, I don't see it that way. Or your experience differs from mine. Or your opinion is different from mine. And they still stay connected. They stay regulated. They stay with you in the moment. Not pushing you away, not pulling back, but saying, we can disagree and the connection doesn't have to change. That is what disagreement looks like in the presence of safety, and your body will feel that. Now, if you're not used to that, your body may push back. Your body may go, I don't know what to do with this, right? This is unfamiliar. But that doesn't mean that disagreeing is the problem. It means your body needs a minute to get used to the fact that someone has disagreed with you without withdrawing connection. So what happens when your system begins to believe that agreement equals safety? I mentioned this briefly earlier. When your system believes that agreement equals safety, what happens is your system starts seeking agreement as a way of seeking safety instead of just seeking safety itself. This looks like silencing yourself. This looks like people pleasing. This looks like withdrawing or pulling back every time you start to pick up on or sense the fact that someone is not on the same page as you. It looks like feeling anxious whenever someone has a different opinion than you. And it looks like interpreting disagreement as a signal that something might be wrong with the relationship. When your body equates agreement with safety, disagreement is going to set off all of the alarm bells because your body believes that what's coming next is disconnection. What's coming next is rejection. Agreement can feel great in a relationship. It can feel validating and encouraging, but agreement is not safety. Safety is created when the connection remains stable, even if disagreement is present. I want to invite you for a minute to think about your relationships and your connections. Think about your friends or your partner or your coworkers. In what relationships do you know that the relationship will stay stable even if we disagree? And in what relationships does your system believe that if we disagree, disconnection will follow? When I said that, for most of you, some names probably came to your mind or some faces popped into your mind. Your body knows. Safety comes from the connection being stable, not from whether or not we agree. So instead of asking, does this person agree with me? Start asking the question, what will happen in this relationship if we disagree? When we disagree, do I still feel like myself? Do I still feel like I can show up as my authentic self, or does part of me pull back? Do they pull back when I disagree with them? Does the connection hold even if we don't agree? Because the answers to those questions will tell you a lot more about whether your relationship is safe than agreement ever can or will. Your body is not trying to make sure that everyone agrees with you. Your body is trying to make sure that your connections remain stable. So your body is evaluating, your system is reading in each relationship that you have, is it safe to disagree here, or will disagreement threaten the connection? Remember, safety equals no meaningful threat exists to my connection. That is what your body is looking for. That is how your body defines safety in a relationship. I personally have many great friends that I disagree with on some fairly significant issues. But the difference between the people I disagree with who remain great friends and the people I disagree with who we end up drifting apart is this one thing. Can we both stay present, maintain the connection, even when we disagree? And we talked last week about how your system repairs. And one of the ways that your system can repair in this domain of connection, in this area of connection, is when your system begins to learn that even in disagreement, I can stay safe. When it learns that disagreement does not automatically equal danger, it can repair. Now, for some of you, you're listening to this right now, and your whole body just braced at the thought of staying present or inviting disagreement, because your body believes that disagreement is unsafe. Disagreement leads to disconnection. But when your body learns that it is possible to disagree with a safe person and remain connected, it updates the prediction. And over time, as your body experiences what it's like to disagree and remain connected, it stops looking at every disagreement as a threat to your connection. And that then creates space for something entirely new in your connections, in your relationships. When your system stops seeing every person who disagrees with you or every disagreement as a threat, it opens up a whole level of possibility for relationships, for experiences, for connections that are safe, but also might involve some disagreements. So if you've ever been confused about why something felt off, even though everything went fine, or if you've ever wondered why disagreement feels so intense, some of us don't handle disagreement well at all because our bodies get worked up the moment there's a hint of disagreement, because your body is responding to what it predicts will be disconnection. And there is nothing wrong with you if your body responds in that big way. But your system has learned to associate agreement with safety. The good news is that when you begin to see the difference, when you begin to experience the difference, disagreement with safety, your system can update and repair. That's when things begin to change. If this has resonated for you and you'd like to go deeper on understanding what calm and safety feel like in your body and how they are related, but not in the way you might think, there's a link below in the show notes to download my free PDF guide, Calm is Not the Same as Safety. And at the end of the PDF, you will find a special invitation to join an upcoming live event that I'm doing. So go grab that now. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next episode.